he says. Skills were fantastic. And Cooney is marked with a shot he should convert.
A couple of very, very exciting players involved from a Western Bulldog point of view. I think Farron Ray is going to be excellent. As we look at Chris Grant, that is definitely a knee, Brian.
It is, and remember last week Gary went off very early in the game as well with an injury. Not a knee, but...
Oh, there it is right there.
Yep. So not good for their most senior player on the ground along with Scott West. As Cooney at the opposite end of the spectrum, one of the bright young stars of Rodney Eade's Bulldogs lineup. From 45 metres out. A little bit of angle about it. We'll ride this one home. Good looking kick. Cool, composed, straight. First to the Dogs.
They are playing irrepressible footy. Look at big Will Minson come out of the square, Brian. Just a head of steam up from the big man, but couldn't latch onto the Sharon.
A lot of kilos to stop in full flight. I'm not sure he can achieve it. Free kick will come back here. It'll go to the Bulldogs, I think.
Oh, that's a big play.
It is. It'll go to Morgan. Umpire said that his opponent, I think it was Jonathan Hay, or perhaps Danny Jacobs it was. In the meantime, the handball comes to Smith. Launches from inside the centre square. It's a big kick. Johnson with a shepherd. Held it through. Rowan Smith, second in a row for the Dogs.
Well, there was a big turnover. We'll find it for you very shortly. This is the free kick here. Hay for that.
Crode reads it best to Jordan Lewis. Nice handball, finds Osborne. He can unload on the left.
Oh,
some holding inside the forward 50. No free now. They pick it.
Well, the umpire needs to be very, very aware of this. Brian Harris on a fast lead is going to struggle, you would think. So he will try and do everything he can to hold him back. And to hold him, he did. He had him for about 5 seconds. So the third umpire, he's just got to be aware of this.
42 goals coming into today's game, Mark Williams, which is an extraordinary performance. Dead set getting saddled there. Kicked the 5 last week. In the losing team, he's got plenty of toys, this young man. Set shot being one of them. Let's have a look how he goes. From outside the 50. Kick on the way is just a beautiful motion, and that is a wonderful result.
Bulldogs would love to see that. Minson. Hawks at ground level. Jacobs has been really good in the opening parts. Crode. Handball was under pressure and he just felt it a little bit. Here go the Bulldogs, the turnover. They harass, they want it. Minson needs to get rid of it. He's not great by foot. Found Cooney. Steady, she goes. Bulldogs have got 3 in the opening 14.
Street and Everett. Mitchell does it beautifully. Hodge out of the centre. Long ball forward, big push on Holland. Rawlings knew it as soon as he did it. And Nick Holland, Gary's man, just a chance here to get the Hawks second. That's pretty clear cut.
He admitted his own guilt, didn't he?
He almost logged himself in, didn't he? But no, I'm very happy for Nick Holland. He's had a very hard, tough time of it. Played good footy for Box Hill and now gets a chance.
Set shot. Should convert from here. The veteran got it going nicely. Hawks get their second. Normally uses it well. This is no exception. Robbins gets on the end of it. Too far out to score, you'd think. The centering ball is good to Murphy.
It's one of the great kicks.
Wonderful footy from the Western Bulldogs, and Murphy's got it. Coming off a bag last week. From the set shot. That's very good. The Western Bulldogs kick goal number 4 to McMahon. Big Will Minson just went to ground, my boy. The old agility not quite there for him. Spider was terrific. Green wrapped up and gone. The tackling for the Dogs has been sensational. Big Will gets it forward. Gonna get it to Cross. His kick not the best off the boot. Robbins, Johnny on the spot. Free kick. Hargrave kicks the goal, but it's going to come back. No, he's paid it. Dogs, number 5.
Terrific start there by the Western Bulldogs. 5-1-31. They lead by 3 goals over Hawthorn. 2-1-13. We saw in those highlights there Chris Grant going down with a knee injury. We can tell you now that it is a grade 3 medial strain. He will be out of action for between 6 and 10 weeks. So shocking news for the Western Bulldogs. That, of course, coming on top of the season-ending injury to the skipper in Luke Darcy. So Chris Grant out of action for between 6 to 10 weeks. Now, problems also for Hawthorn, and that also reflected on the scoreboard. And I just want to show you this vision here of Alastair Clarkson at quarter time. You'll see he gets a little physical with some of the boys there. Richie Vandenberg cops it first, and then Jordan Lewis and Campbell Brown cop it as well. So not happy Jan is the coach there in Alastair Clarkson. All right, can the Hawkers respond in the second quarter? We'll find out right after this break.
And a boundary throw in attacking 50 for the Bulldogs. Got 11 minutes to play in this first half of footy. Disposals in this quarter, Dogs and Hawks all tied up at 31 apiece. So the efficiency rate of the Hawks. Eagleton, Gian Syracuse, snap at goal there. Dogs break the second quarter drought.
Well, one of those coaches who spoke to the players at quarter time is Todd Viney. I don't think he'll be too happy with this setup. Just had players running goal side to first goal. It's Gene Syracuse's first goal. They needed it. They've been working hard, swimming upstream a little bit this second quarter. It often makes a world of difference when you're able to put one on the board.
Gian Syracuse gives the Dogs back their advantage, 19 points. Talented player. Sorry, Gary.
Very small forward line for the Western Bulldogs. Very small.
Winning the middle football, though. West forward. Fist away from the Hawk defence. Lewis is starting to get a bit of it. Nicely done to Ladson. Ladson with the low one to Williams. Just couldn't elevate high enough to end up with it.
Well done, Griffin. He covered Peter Street's backside. Went to Everett.
Great piece of footy, though, by foot. Brennan will go to Everett now, and Big Spide's got it.
Well, he did beautifully early, Griffin. Covered for Street, and then kicked it and turned it over, and it came straight back in his face. Big Peter Street was a bit slow getting down there.
Can he manufacture something here, number one? It's on the right side, Brian. Don't know whether you'd notice that for the left footer, but just might want to run around or produce a banana ball. Let's have a look. Gives himself some room. Oh, look at Spider. Have a look at that from the big fella.
Well, he's certainly today he's taking it on himself. Haven't seen too much of the Hawks, but he's taken it upon himself to get forward at every opportunity. And against Peter Street, who's honest but lumbering would probably be the best way to describe him. It's a pretty good tactic, I would have thought. What Street has to do is turn the table whenever he possibly can. Otherwise, he'll be chasing tail all afternoon. But it's a beautiful finish. He's got some superb skills, Spider Everett.
So the Hawks get another in this second quarter. 2 goals to the Bulldogs, 1. It's closing the gap ever so slightly within 13 points. It was an 18-point margin at quarter time. Hodge out of the middle. This is the great break for the Hawks. Williams presents and will line up for goal number 3 for him.
50.
And will kick goal number 3 for him. And goal number 45 for the year.
It was a free kick in the middle of the ground, and advantage was paid, correctly so. I'm not sure what the free was for. But Brian Harris just stands there a bit bemused. They all look around. Now he takes the mark, kicks the goal.
Goal number 3 for Williams, 2 in the quarter.
Well, just have a look at it again and see if the 50 was there. Once the mark's taken, you're not really entitled to place hands on them. Not sure what the free kick was for. It might have been against Cooney. How many paces does he take? Let's see. Well, it was not that much in it,
Gary,
was it, really?
Please.
There's nothing in that,
That's rubbish.
God, I'm pretty sure I was arriving at that conclusion.
Gary.
I think you both are making up my mind.
Come straight to it, please.
Oh, Gary.
Probably would have kicked the goal anyway, Gary, but that's rubbish, that 50.
Thank you very much, James. I'll call this one. Up they go. Vincent. No, that's right. You're the caller.
Jordan Lewis has got it. Pumps it forward. Williams can take a fly at this as well. Jumped into his own teammate's back. Franklin At ground level, picks it up, gets it out of there. Good handball. Hawks in numbers. Hodge gets it back into the hands of Clark, whose kick was smothered. Hodge will pick it up again. Step through a couple. Lewis needed to find a teammate, Franklin, by hand. They cough it up. And West will get it to McMahon. The Dogs are away. I think it's going to come back.
Now, Robert Murphy's got Osborne as an opponent. That would have to be 5 or 6 different opponents.
Rawlings takes a bounce, a couple now, up the Hawkins wing. A delivery to near on 50, Eagleton. Wheels around on his favoured left side. Sends the ball to the hot spot. Murphy! Just perfect football from the Dogs.
We might have to have opponent 8 or 9. I still reckon Joel Smith might be the best bet, but Joel Smith's got Rowan Smith at the moment and doing a pretty fair job. This bloke, gee, presents some problems for opposition teams.
This one directly in front. He's great at ground level, Gary. He's sensational in the air. He's just so agile and athletic. And here he is for goal number 2, following his 6 last week. Robert Murphy. Kick on the way is there. He likes it.
Nice steadying goal for the Dogs, being challenged and pushed all the way in this third quarter. The conclusion you draw at this stage is they're 2 pretty evenly placed sides. Jade Rawlings, good bit of run out of defence there. And then this fella's left boot has always been a pretty deadly weapon, and kicked it to the hot spot, top of the square. And Robert Murphy was good enough to mark and convert.
Murphy presenting plenty of problems for Al Clarkson and his brains trust. Look at the work of Spider, just sensational down to Hodge. Hodge into the centre of the forward 50, but Griffin read it best. Got back to provide some extra support. Rawlings, Ryan's man Gilby. Just look at the movement there from the young man. Gets it to Farron Ray. He goes into the centre, dangerous kick. Smith did pretty well in the end, just to get a disputed ball down. Eagleton, well done, cross. They'll go forward again. Big Peter Street presents. Not going to reach him. Johnson, Robbins. All sorts of space for Robbins. He kicks another one. Dogs got 2 in a row.
Yeah, as Jay said, I think they like, well, Jace asked the question earlier about Robbins going back. I think they like him forward because he does know where the goals are. He's got some speed and some pace and some confidence. And they've just settled nicely, Bryza. They've just settled nicely. And the smaller forward line that they've got is working pretty well. Peter Street now gone to the goal square. That tips the scales a little bit, but the rest of them all dangerous and all mobile. Griffin gone loose in defence for the Dogs, just to try and fill up some of that leading space of Mark Williams, which means there's a Hawthorn player loose in their half.
3 goals apiece in the second quarter. The Dogs on a bit of a mini charge. Smith, what can the Hawks do in response? Mitchell through traffic. Smith did well. Knew exactly where Hodge was. Now the Hawks have got to find someone here. The kick out wide is not good at all by Sewell.
That's what happens when you put Griffin in that hole. You go wider because you can't go first option to Williams. You've got to go and play on him. Jason McCartney quickly.
I think the other reasons they like Robbins up forward, because Sewell's done the job on Johnson. Only 3 possessions so far.
Just all over it down there, Jason McCartney at the moment. His cross is tackled by Crawford. 7 minutes remaining in the half. And the Bulldogs with their noses in front at the moment. Possession time so far for the game, slightly in favour of the Hawks, who trail on the scoreboard. Brown, bounce favoured him, didn't it?
You can't do that.
Long ball. Williams had to try and beat a couple. Bulldogs under pressure. The quick kick out of the pack went straight to Vandenberg.
Take us back to the bounce, Bryza. You can't do that.
That's the bounce of our football, Gary. It's not round. It's unpredictable. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Let's have a look at it.
Oh, you couldn't have put it on the chest of Campbell Brown any better. And there's, as a result of that mongrel bounce, look at poor old Williams running with 3 blokes there. Ends up in the hands of Richie Vandenberg.
Wasn't such a good one, Gary, but happens occasionally in a game, maybe once or twice a game.
Turn it up, Roger.
The skipper from 50. Good looking ball. Got it.
Of the ball dispute continues. Do you bounce it just in the centre and throw it up around the ground, Gary?
Of course you do, Jim Bob.
There's Big Will, gets it down to McMahon. Gee, and Syracusa steps through. Free kick, doesn't matter. Jordan McMahon on the end of it. Normally uses the ball well. Murphy. Oh, very, very nice. Aerial work.
Maybe they've taken the lead from Williams at the other end of the ground, Bryzer, and Jim, because he could be legitimately a full forward, this fella. He's too probably valuable, got too many other tricks, but...
And we'll go the journey from here, I would have thought.
Got 2 in the afternoon. Reverse angle will give you the best seat in the house. Murphy just pulled that one way to the left. Oh, Big Will with a fly. Couldn't wrap it up, I tell you what. He is an excitement package, Will Minson. That's a rush behind.
So with 5 minutes remaining in the half, what can the Hawks do to chip away at this lead? Ladson. Hay. Nicely weighted kick over the top. Sets up Osborne. Was great. Murphy lacked the peripheral vision needed to see it charging Holland.
Sure is.
Slam him to the ground. Nick Holland, a late replacement for Josh Thurgood, and there is Hodge, one of the main ball getters for the Hawks, in a bit of trouble as well. Let's go to Jason McCartney in just a moment. As Crawford will kick the ball long. Inside 50, looking for Dixon. Punch away from him by Morris was good. Cross sets up McMahon. McMahon got a bit of open ball down the court now, but the kick is not good, and Brown. Jason McCartney.
To stay out there, he looks okay, just carrying that left ankle.
He's had 16 touches for the game, old coach.
Brownie will have it right in front of where Mum and Dad are sitting in the Medallion Club stand watching their boy. There is, oh, Big Will just almost roped that one in. Split about 8 blokes open in the process. Campbell Brown's kick forward. Dixon's hands were good. Just got it to Crawford. He can load it up and go very long and left for a behind for the Hawks. Dying minutes. There is Mal Brown.
His wife Kay on the right-hand side, and I think
Sister Pippa on the left. Philippa. Pip.
just the most disgruntled man ever to play football, Malcolm Brown.
Angry.
Just enjoyed inflicting pain on people. Cooney. Green.
He used to be a neighbour of mine in Perth, Brownie Bryan, and don't worry about the fact that when I was riding my bike home, I just gave his joint a little bit of a deviation. Want to run into Brownie if he wasn't pleased with him.
The great Malcolm Brown, just 14 games with the Richmond Football Club. That's off the boot. Should have been out of bounds on the full.
Was it the fluoro green Deodora?
That's what I thought it was.
The black and... No, he doesn't know. So he said, well, I've got no idea. I'm sure we'll pick this up. Let's have a look. Oh, we can't see a thing. It might have been a Bulldog boot.
It was Jordan McMahon's. Anyway, a little inconclusive, perhaps. Give the umpire the benefit of the doubt there, Gary. I know you're always first to jump on them. Eagleton. Johnson. Bulldogs, 3.5 minutes before the half. West. Solid ball. Street needs to get on the bike. Hay. Street doing some body work, needs to tie him up and wait for the troops to arrive. Now they do. Burse. Got to get rid of it. Osborne had to go and did. Knocked it loose to Greenland. Now Ladson. Ladson at half-back, a driving ball to Holland, who's just knocked up presenting today. The Hawks. Franklin. Second bounce got away a little. Now the kick. A brilliant smother in the end it was.
Roger, Peter Street down the other end, you would say, see that goal square? You just stand there. Don't lead for the footy out wide. You stand there, and if we have to, we'll kick it long into that area. Otherwise, let Murphy do the leading.
Big Will Minson, just beautiful ruck work there to Eagleton. Now Johnson. 2-on-1 situation here should favour the Hawks. The bounce was no good for them though. Campbell Brown did well. Handball to Crawford. He goes to Ladson. Vandenberg will pump it back to Crawford. Now Brown. Joel Smith. Got to go long to the square, and Williams surely had his man cold. The footy just too long getting there. And mess around with it, Hawthorn, and the Dogs can just bring it away through Lindsay Gilbey, and that's a good result for the Western Bulldogs.
Well, that was a very, very ordinary passage of play. They had Williams one out. They had Tim Clark had slotted into the hole with no one anywhere near him. None of the Hawthorn players got their eyes up and dared look inside 50.
Oh, Gary, they refused to kick it. They flatly refused to kick the ball. Hawks fans frustrated.
The steam coming out of the big prize.
Well, just say something, Gary.
I said that. They didn't look up, Ryan.
Just say something. Give me something, because this is my man. It's going to make them pay. Cross. Here he comes again. Eagleton gets rid of the tackler. Now he can go the journey from here. Nathan Eagleton. He winds up. Oh, boy. The Bulldogs.
Tell you now, Gary, you know when he got a head of steam up, Big Brian, when the moustache goes straight forward out of his bonds.
It was positively bristling.
It's unbelievable.
A few nasal hairs just out there as well.
It almost heads up the moustache.
Oh, the moustache was up and about. As are the Dogs. And Lindsay Gilbey was, once he gets involved, the bristle.
In the centre, the Dogs have got a 19-point lead just as we approach the half. They led by 18 points at quarter time. Hawks got to get a little more direct. Hodge ripped off it. Slapped out of there by Spider. Free kick. Gonna go the Dogs' way.
Gee, they
Burse.
pinch another one here, Jim Bob. It'll be a very good result because the Hawks had some opportunity early in this quarter.
Shane Burse. Got Smith on short, gets to him. Smith plays on, which is good work. Has a bounce. Oh, long is Robbins. Robbins in great shape here. He's going to take the mark and he's going to kick the goal.
Second for the quarter, and you might just want to play that passage of play for the Hawks because the key movement was Rowan Smith. When he took this ball, he played on quickly and kicked the ball 55 metres to a one-on-one contest, and it is in stark contrast to the fiddling around the Hawthorn showed about a minute and a half ago, and they have just stolen a little march here, the Dogs.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Bulldogs have got 2 and 2 minutes to finish the half in just fine style.
8-man forward line for the Hawks.
We have got a minute and a quarter left. Minson in the middle. Hawks, dare I say it, need to capitalise. They haven't. Griffin to Burse. Cooney. Desperation by Brown was excellent. Smith. Vandenberg, you can hear the crowd. Go long! Brownie, bit of an inside-out grubber. Cross, rolling long. Had a bit of a half volleyball. Gangster slap at it. Griffin, Hargrave, smothered by Mitchell. There's still a chance for the Hawks. We've got 40 seconds remaining. The delivery forward not good.
They go short 12 metres. They got one out Williams, the Coleman medalist, in the inside 50.
Here come the Dogs. Smith will attack from centre wing. Couple of bounces. 25 seconds and ticking, Gary. Watch them from here. He launches a long missile from the point of the square that misses.
Just decision-making junk at the minute from the Hawks, according to the great Gary Lyon, and I agree with him, Brian.
That's a change.
Here we go. The boundary throw-in. Croft's got a little nick above the eye, damaging the movie star looks of the great man. Here we go. Can the Dogs sneak another one? Big Will. Oh, just banging into plenty down there. Hey, over the top. Got it to Joel Smith. Inside the last couple of seconds. Brownie's kick dispossessed. They've got time? No. That is the half. Oh, ripping stuff from the Western Bulldogs. Big finish. Shane Crawford will get patched up. His side perhaps need to get their thinking patched up as we come out for the second half.
Indeed, Western Bulldogs, 5 goals in the first, 5 in the second. They lead by 25 points here at the Telstra Dome.
Bulldogs by 25 points, start of the second half. Hayden Kennedy, ball to turf. Mitchell just ferocious at the ground level ball. Almost won himself a free kick.
Loose man in the Hawthorn forward line. Hargraves it is for the Western Bulldogs. Campbell Brown, the corresponding loose in Hawthorn's back line.
Street out manoeuvring Spider. Cooney with the fresh airy. Picked up by the little blonde man in Mitchell. Kick forward, missed the target in Franklin. So allows the Dogs half back line to tidy up through McMahon cross. Cross delivery. It was meant for Street. It was marked by Gilby. And half forward, Rowan Smith, his best mate on the lead. Couldn't get hold of it off the ground. And a little bit in hope, might have snuck almost through behind, but Crode was able to cut it off and bang it out the opposite side of the ground.
They're on here.
Got some runners out here, the Hawks. Over the top, Vandenberg. Further afield, Brennan or Holland gets to the ladder on the bounce. Brennan. Standing start ball was pretty ordinary. May have just landed inside the field of play and they'll be thrown back in.
Should have done better there. They had overlap, they had numbers, they had run. It was just some sloppy disposal that slowed them up a fraction. To the bench. Jacobs was ill, we're told, out of the side, had to come back in because of a late withdrawal.
They played all 3 emergencies today, the Hawthorn Football Club.
Crawford cast in the role of a ruckman, did it well. Lewis around the body. Williams has got to beat a couple in the air. Harris was very good. Honest, I think is the word for him, Brian. And that handball over the top to Farron Ray will work and the Dogs will end up taking it out of there.
They do indeed. The kick to Street. Can he get going? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hang in there, Streety. Hang in there. Whoa. Well done against Ladson. Peter Street, that's a win to you. But now the Hawks. Through Brown, looking for the give and go. There it is. Well done. In the end by Clark to get it back to Ladson. Kick was low and not precise. Sat on there, picked up in the end by Sewell. Swift handball to Crawford. Looking for Franklin. Hargrave didn't have it. Ball out wide. Eagleton able to keep it in and give it backwards to McMahon. And now the switch of play will be on here. And McMahon, a risky kick to the talented Mr. Murphy.
Got it off to Griffin. Had his head ripped off. Advantage paid to Murphy. Can have a bounce through the centre. Can set sail for home. Murphy not going to get there. Crow to wrestle with Robbins.
Free kick.
Robbins.
He was right there. Was Kieran Nichols, the man that can't bounce or couldn't bounce, but he was right there. Obviously saw some jumper pulling. And just the long and direct play, long and direct delivery. The defender gets nervous, Brian. He makes the odd mistake, and all of a sudden you get a shot at goal.
Robbins has 2, both of those in the second term. This to really start to stretch the Hawks. Should convert from here. And he does. Great start for the Western Bulldogs.
Well, it looks like they pushed Murphy up the ground a little bit, who ended up playing out of the square in the second quarter. Rowan Smith has gone down to play as a really hard leading presenting forward. Robbins is next to him. You've got Gene Siracusa as well. It is small, Brian, but it is effective at the moment. It is quick and mobile. And it's working.
It is. Rodney Eade putting together a formidable forward outfit. The Bulldogs, the first goal of the second half. Robbins with his 3rd. Ineffective kick so far in the match. The Dogs 12. The Hawks 24. Doubling the Dogs, and you've seen them go forward the last couple. just haven't been able to find the target by foot, the Hawks. And another ball up in the middle of the ground.
Well, they've got to get a lift from somewhere here, Hawthorn, before it gets too far away from them.
There's Big Will and Shane Burse. Boundary side, Street, West. Fast hands, has great awareness. McMahon, normally a good finisher. On the lead, Smith. Just precision play.
Well, what happens if you're Trent Crode and you're Jonathan Hay, boys, and you rock along here today, is that you spent the best part of 10 weeks playing on 6'4", 6'5" key position forwards, and you work out how they play. You know that they're prepared to stand and bustle and wrestle, and all of a sudden you're presented with Smith and Robbins and Murphy. Difficult adaptation period, I would have thought, Gary. Smith from 30 metres out and nailed it. He's one of the best in the business. Got his second goal of the day. Well, it is a difficult... Well, it shouldn't be as difficult, but it's different. That's the thing. So what you've got to do as a defender, you've got to adjust. You've got to say, well, I'm not playing on Matthew Pavlich or Barry Hall. I'm playing on blokes who are smaller than me, who have got good leg speed and who love to present to the footy. So just a bit of subtle repositioning as a defender. Rather than standing or starting behind them, start in front. Take away the space.
Kick 6 of the last 7 goals of the match. The Western Bulldogs, those gentlemen on screen, have big problems.
Look at those Hawthorn defenders. They're all behind those small forwards at the moment, giving them a shot at the ball.
37-point lead, the biggest of the match. Ladson. Again, they continue to go short with the ball, the Hawks. 50. Not getting back on the mark quick enough.
Gee, I'd love a shot of Rodney Reed's coach's box after this one.
Gee, that's a great break for the Hawks, isn't it?
Massive break. And it's got to be kicked still. Very cool at the moment, Rocket. Internally, you would be filthy that you could give an advantage away when you got all the momentum.
Tim Clark, not a renowned goal kicker. Certainly not a lot of journey in his leg, but the accuracy, all he needs to worry about here. Kick on the way. Oh, no, he's got it there. It wasn't a good-looking ball flight, but it's home.
Hawks are within 31 points. Early stages, third quarter. Another poor bounce by umpire Kieran Nichols, the man that Gary Lyon has heavily criticised for that part of his game today. Ray.
Just once.
McMahon, but it was heavy.
It was significant.
Robbins, the busting throw, that's a throw. So the advantage will be paid here, and the Dogs will look to mount something through Farron Ray. Swings back onto his non-preferred side. Hargrave sets himself. Got in front, a strong mark by Brown.
Lewis to Holland. To Franklin by hand. Over the top to Mitchell. We'll go back to Franklin. They love to possess the footy to Hawks. Franklin with a bounce. Now down the line he goes. The kick's okay. Brennan couldn't hang on. And the ball across the line will go down to the boundary line. Jason McCartney.
Yeah, JB, just with Crode and those defensive matchups in the Hawks back line, I wonder whether it's worth a punt that Crode goes forward.
Well, what do you think, JB?
Gary Lyons, the man, speak about such things.
Well, it depends on how they play. You know, if they get it in quick, then probably you wouldn't need to. He's been the All-Australian centre-half back, you would imagine, at this time. But it may be something I'd look at.
Didn't sound to me like he was prepared for that one, Gary, as the ball's going to be bounced 50 out. The Hawks trail by 37 points. In fact, beyond that now. In fact, less than that now. 31 points. So it's a significant lead enjoyed by the Dogs, and Hawthorn need to pile on a few in a row. Hard to see him doing it with the Dogs controlling general play. This is across the line. We're going to have another boundary throw-in. Some of the key matchups. Mark Williams has been good again. Mitchell perhaps not his dominant self. Everett down to Vandenberg, claimed high, no free, and the ball will be bounced.
They've got to get a leaf from the likes of Mitchell and also Crawford. Got to find some of the footy, not only find it, and deal it out, but actually break some lines and run through the line and carry the footy. Give Williams a chance to get it one out.
That match up with Mitchell and Cross. I think Mitchell's had 11 possessions and Cross has had 16 so far in the game. So maybe a win to Cross. There's a fight on behind the play here. We can't quite see it yet. We'll show you in a moment. Crawford's involved. Yep. Umpire ball it up, and there's the little bit of a scuffle and skirmish. A mini fracas breaking out in the background.
They're very, well, they've been teammates in the past. Johnson and Crawford get on very well, but something's upset Brad Johnson. In the background there, you can see it just taking place, but...
Umpire Kennedy with a lovely bounce. Knockout by Griffin. Goes out. So a bit of a lull in play here as we regroup and have a bit of a look what was going on behind the play. There's the Crawford and Johnson thing. And
I might just cast an eye over that visor.
They may well. Ball knocked down West. Got to commit the body here. Does. So did Clark coming the other way. A wonderful contest at the ball. And a free kick Hawks way.
This is where the spirit of this rule is so often misinterpreted, Gary. You can't, if you're Clark, attack the footy any more honestly than that. And yet he's ping fouling the ball. I just don't agree with it. Johnson goes back to Street. And it looks like some holding on. Farron Ray will get him the footy at centre-half back.
It's a little ugly passage here. The umpires have just got to get control of it. The players have got to get back and start to attack this game, particularly from a Hawthorn point of view. If you're a Western Bulldogs supporter, you're pretty comfortable at the moment. Every time they go forward, they look likely.
Ray. 5-0 the free kicks in favour of the Dogs this term. They'll have the ball in their forward half now. Good kick. Murphy gets it and goes. And low drilling, nice presentation of the Sharon to Robbins. He's got 3.
Once again, Jim, 2 leading forwards, small forwards, who just lead their defenders to the footy. I mean, the penny's got to drop somewhere. They're not going to take a big pack mark. They're not going to out-bustle you and nudge you under the footy.
They're last in contested marks in the comp. They took just 2 of them last week.
Exactly, Bryzer.
Thank you.
Robbins from the set shot. Oh, it's working a little left. Through for a behind. You two would have been world beaters if you could have worked on the end of some Murphy foot passing too. Just beautiful. Right in the bread basket, Brian.
Well, the difference, when you know that you've got it presenting, or the forwards are presenting and they're going to kick to you, you lead harder, you lead more often.
Well, Gary, I'm going to set you just a little task in the next couple of minutes to come up with 2 direct opponents for those small forwards that are causing so much damage for the Hawks. Hey, just if you can, Gary, little chipping kick, because we know that
producing the game, I'm doing anything at the minute.
The box is something one day that just may present. Just want to see how you operate. Sewell has got the ball beyond his capabilities. Chipping ball. Williams. Just the vertical basketball leap was good enough. And he'll line up for goal number 4.
And he's got 3 goals, Mark Williams. I would love to know how many actual contests he's been in. They just don't appear at the moment able to get him the footy or get it into his general vicinity.
Now, this is the man here, Mark Williams. He leads the Coleman medal race at the moment. But the great Dermot Brereton once said was the straightest kick he'd ever seen in the history of our game. And his 75% conversion from set shots this year indicates that the great man is on the money.
Got rid of Jason Dunstall as well, Brian, from down there, and he's kicking straightened up after that.
Yeah. Williams directly in front. Look at that. No deviation at all for his 4th.
He still represents Hawthorn's best chance. He's got 4 goals. He looks eminently capable of kicking 7 or 8 this afternoon. I reckon the Hawks have got to go out of their way just to open this up and give him every single chance of doing that. If he can, they're not out of it. He's just been a stunning revelation this year, Mark Williams.
Williams Williams' goal-kicking season rolls on. 46 now for the year. Quite staggering. Mitchell beaten to it. Cooney overran it. Hodge. Hands were good. Green's hands weren't that good. Eagleton coughed it up. So did Clark. Osborne it was. This is Brian's man, Gilby. Have a look at the finish. Just have a look at the finish of Gilby. Oh no. Brian was up out of his seat, but just not quite on that occasion for Lindsay Gilby.
He was not only up, he was halfway around the studio here in celebration, but
I was firmly in my chair, boys.
Just pulled that to the left of the goals, luckily, for the Hawks.
Well, the Hawks are still a chance here with plenty of time remaining in the third quarter. But you've got to say that Terry, in fact, Rodney Eade, has got this Bulldogs outfit playing some pretty good footy. The Hawks just need to tidy up their disposal rate. Stripped of the ball there was Lewis. Burst has won himself a free kick as he know it'll go the Hawks' way.
Joel Smith has gone forward for the Hawks, trying to provide them with a target.
Lewis looking to transfer the play, goes back to his skipper in Vandenberg. He wants someone to come at him, but Jonathan Hay said no, kick it in the air because I'm on Lindsay Gilby and he's a lot smaller than I am. So it was a correct decision. Well done, well thought out by Jonathan Hay. But the kick backwards was one of disbelief, I guess. Vandenberg to Brown. They love possessing the footy in this part of the ground, the Hawks. Everett on the lead. Kick ineffective once again, and look at Spider just going off.
Well, he's had a pretty quiet day, Peter Everett. His ruck work been good, but he's only had, in terms of possessions, just 5 possessions for the afternoon, so that's a big win for Peter Street and the Dogs.
The Bulldogs #1 in the AFL for marks, but last in the competition for contested marks. We've mentioned that today. And poles apart there, it shows you that they play a small forward line, which Gary's been on about all day. McMahon.
Long will find Murphy on the bounce. Very dangerous player. He is very good. And that is almost goal number 3 for Robert Murphy. Touched on the line by Crow, who did a good job.
All right, Gary, we've got them down there. Well, who have we got? Robbins. And the other small leading forward, Murphy. Who are you going to play on them?
I've been calling for Joel Smith to take one of those boats, but he seems to have gone forward at the moment. I don't mind Crode. He's got the leg speed to play on one of them.
Hodge fending off the June Syracuse tackle without great success. Robbins, some hustle pressure down the forward end. Now the turnover's complete. Fast hands. June Syracuse with a beautiful kick to a guy that can bomb long. And this will be a walk in the park, the journey from here for this man.
Pretty much sounds like to me that Gary's not suggesting they do anything, Brian.
Well, you would say move Joel Smith from half forward to back, Jimbo. It'd be hard for you to compute in that little P-brainy order.
There were 2 of them, though, Gary.
Leave it as it is.
Well, Crode was the other one, and Osborne, I reckon I'd put on one of these players. In fact,
Smith comes in. Man, that's just gone wide.
a couple of missed opportunities in the last minute for the Dogs. Just sense a bit of ganging up in the box here. I'm not all that impressed with.
Ball hit the top of the behind post, Brian, so
There'll be a stat on that.
Lost it. Just lost it in mid-air there.
Osborne has it. Hawks, this is just symptomatic of where they're at. So difficult they seem to find it to get the ball on in a hurry. Out of side, some hard running being done out here. Joel Smith again stops with the footy. Shane Crawford just around the body, and it's over the line, and you find yourself wondering how they can get over a lead of around 5 goals, Gary, when ball movement's so difficult for that man's club.
I wonder whether Spider Everett might be a target down forward. Sit him in the goal square with Williams in front and clear everyone else out. See whether they can go long and pinch a couple like that. Just seems to be a lot of room taken up by the likes of Nick Holland and Lance Franklin standing in front of Williams.
Big Will Linson may have given away a free. He has. Spider Everett's got it. Big Will a little crude. Spider backwards and sideways to Joel Smith. Hodge coming at the number 11, so he goes sideways. This is John O'Hay. The bounce of the ball not really helping him. Oh, and no. He is in real strife. That's out of bounds deliberately, surely. Yeah, every day of the week. So Robert Murphy has it. And he goes inboard. A couple of options there. Hargrave ends up with it.
He does. Finds West. West just trying to set up the lead of Robbins, and Griffin runs into space.
They look shot, don't they, the Hawks?
The Hawks, Everett had the ball on the wing. He wanted to kick it long, you could tell, and Joel Smith demanded that he give him the ball, and then Joel Smith's kick sideways. You just wonder. I always thought the idea of the switch of play, Gary, was to a man that could play on only.
No, it's imperative, and when you've got the small forward, let's not forget we've got the Coleman medalist up here in the brown and gold mob. There's a reason for it, that they've moved the ball quickly and give him that chance, one out, and they just, since early in the game, they have not given him that opportunity.
Let's look at this young man's style from the set shot. There's the lovely angle that we can provide you. The kick is well weighted and measured. Griffin's got his first of the afternoon, and the Dogs are happy, and so is the president.
March on. Griffin sneaks forward for one. Spider wins it down. Hodge inches the ball forward. Clark worried out of it. Holland didn't possess the footy. Jordan McMahon to Farron Ray. The forward pressure's good from the Hawks. The skipper Vandenberg gets it to Hodge. Hodge on the wrong side. Has missed to the wrong side. And it's through for a behind.
Good effort by Vandenberg. Someone's got to do something a bit special to inspire this Hawthorn mob to get up and about. Just won a really hard footy then. He's tried hard.
29-point advantage for the Bulldogs. Let's have a look at their kick-in process. They tend to bunch and huddle and break, and they do that pretty good. Rawlings just finds the loose man in Cooney. This is a little too easy. She's just a lot more direct, aren't they? Cooney running wide, though, looking to take on Crawford. Got him in the foot race, Smith. And perhaps the Cooney kick might have gone back into a more corridor approach. 5.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and the disposals. Hawks have got 3 in that top 5, and West and Cross there for the Dogs. Johnson, been a quietish day for Brad Johnson today. This one's marked by Lewis in the back half, sets up Smith. Now Smith works the ball around the corner with a pretty intelligent kick to Holland. Rawlings both had trouble turning the circle. Hargrave. Dogs are away. Ray.
A couple of bounces. The handball, very nice. Look out. Here comes Gian Siracusa. Hawks all around him, but he was the only one who ever looked like marking the ball.
What was the big Spide doing here? Or did he just misread it? He seemed to be in position to spoil this, but he must have ran under the footy. I think he thought there was going to be a bit more carry. And yet another mark inside 50 for the Western Bulldogs.
Daniel Gian Siracusa, those are his numbers, has won this afternoon. Lots of talent bundled up in this young package. From the set shot to extend the Dogs' lead again. It's working back. He's got it.
Well, Daniel Jean Siracusa puts his name on the board. Let me have a look at the spread of goals. So even Murphy with a couple, Smith with a couple, Jean Siracusa with a couple, Cooney with a couple, Matthew Robbins with 3. It's been a very even performance right across the board. Multiple goal scoring options, hard to match up on.
So the Bulldogs dominating the third quarter, 4 goals to 2. With just over 4 minutes remaining. Everett and Minson out at the middle. Spider did really well. To Lewis, some evasive skills, sees the ball clear from the clearance. Reese over the top. Gives it to Hodge, or Lewis it was, and the kick forward has been marked by Everett.
He's ducked out the back a couple of times, Spider, and put it on the opposition ruckman to run with him, and a few times he got away with it, but the Hawks weren't able to spot him up. They were a bit slow, but on this occasion, Big Will was just not quite on the ball, and Spider snuck down to get one of his few possessions, to be honest and fair.
Let's have a look at this colourful man from just beyond the red stripe. He has missed to the left. Just the minor score, 3.5 minutes remaining. It's 92-54, Bulldogs way. An unusual hairdo, and that man there's just come to the bench for a bit of a spell.
Hasn't had much of an influence at all, Shane Crawford.
Out of the rotation, Gilby. The kick in to McMahon, and the Dogs away.
Worrying reintroduction of the mullet into AFL football. This ball just pumped high. Robbins parked underneath it, has it fisted away. Cross was terrific. Over the top, should be another one. Gian Siracusa has missed to the left-hand side. And Jason McCartney has all the details, boundary side.
Yeah, just a sad sight there at the moment. We see Chris Grant, he is showered and all suited up, and like we spoke about earlier, the doc give us the inside word, 6 to 10 weeks, medial ligament.
Oh, that's even a better performance at the moment with Grant off the ground and Brad Johnson having little or no influence.
And we're talking season over for Chris Grant. Maybe even, Gary, career over for Chris Grant at this point in time. Let's not underestimate that.
Yeah, he had a great start to the year in lots of ways, so maybe that's enough to want him to motivate him to go on.
There he is, sitting with Dr. Jake Landsberger on the right and Dr. Gary Zimmerman on the left. And in the meantime, the Hawks have possession of the ball through Spider to Brown. Campbell Brown at centre half back.
Slow, Brian, very slow.
It is, and they just will end up going sideways. You watch, because it's the bailout kick, Gary.
It is.
It's the one where I can't make a mistake because there'll be a loose man. The kick now forward to Hodge is a bit more direct. Hodge long ball, not getting enough supply for this man here. Williams spins out with a bit of a pirouette move. Jacobs can run onto this. Rawlings kept his feet, otherwise he may well have been in trouble. 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Lots of parts of that Campbell Brown kick wide. You looked in the middle of the ground, there would have been 25 players there, so they're not working for each other to create that space.
Cooney will come to the broadcast side of the ground and find Burse. Murphy's run hard for him and will get it. Should go, and he does. But no one right ahead of him to kick it to, so the bouncing ball forward. Crode will be claimed from behind. Nice one-handed pickup from Campbell Brown. Good ball forward to Ladson. Again, he's got a handball backwards because there's nothing to kick to. Franklin's pickup was terrific. Look at the numbers back for the Western Bulldogs. Franklin's just got a kick in hope of one of his players winning a contest. Nicely done by Dixon. Weight of numbers in the end, though, for the Western Bulldogs, and McMahon dangerously forward. Ryan Harris, you can see the look on his face.
Hang on, we've got a bit of action back here. Ben Dixon and his free kick. Dixon.
Against Burse, I think. Got him high.
Left footer, difficult side. Need it, understatement.
Well, huge kick, this one. This is the incident. Ball's gone from the area, so there's not really any point continuing it on. Ben Dixon,
third ball for Bryce.
Get that one out, Brian.
Cheers squad microphone.
Ben Dixon still with the footy. Goes into the corridor. Hawks around it. Smith. Low handball. He'll get it back. And right-footed from about 45 out, and it's gone. Right through the middle. Can the Hawks come back from 32 points down? Or are the Dogs looking good to win this Sunday afternoon match at the Telstra Dome? Cooney in the middle. Hodge picks it up. Pumps it in there long. Crode's been thrown forward. Franklin there as well. Look at the big boy Franklin. Got it to Mitchell. Mitchell short and very, very tidy. Ladson's got it. 30 out directly in front.
Much better start, a little bit of purpose, and gone for two bigger forwards in Franklin and Crow to cross half forward. Just got to get a little bit angry about the way they've been playing Hawthorn and play with a bit of passion. Mitchell's got to start to find it. Crawford's playing half back on Johnson at the moment, so this is obviously a critical kick for Rick Ladson. 13 career goals.
Yep, just 3 this year. So it's not his specialty, the game of footy. This one he's got to steer through. Get the Hawks off on the right note. Well done.
It breathes a bit of little life into the contest, boys, that's for sure. Rick Ladson, he's got to kick his first goal. But this is the way they've got to do it. They've just got to attack at all costs, get it on quickly, don't allow the Dogs to get their numbers back. Plant a seed or two early in the piece. Nice bit of work by Franklin. Got some talent, and a good decision from Mitchell.
Hawks are not done with yet. They're within 26 points with basically a full quarter of footy in front of them. And if this man starts winning out of the middle, anything could happen. Mitchell, Franklin, Ladson kicked that last goal. Griffin trying to work him off the ball. Did well. Harris had to get rid of it. Now Griffin looking to take them on. Williams keeps it alive. And a boundary throw in deep in the Hawthorn forward end.
2 important touches for Sam Mitchell. Cross has got the job. He's got to be very, very much aware that he holds one of the keys, as does that man Luke Hodge with Cooney.
Hawks have kicked 4 of the last 6 goals in this game and are within 26 points, and that is gettable. McMahon, Johnson and Crawford go at it in the air. The punch down, Vandenberg. Support for the Hawks was great of it. Now the troops for the Dogs arrive. Farron Ray had to get rid of it. Probably be pinged here. No, he won't. Umpire said he had no prior opportunity.
Back in the middle of the ground, back where we started. Peter Everett on Peter Street as well as another critical matchup. Campbell Brown is about opponent number 10 for Robert Murphy. And Crode's gone forward for the Hawks.
Everett hooks it down, looking for Mitchell, then gets his own footy, big spide. Look at the delivery forward. Franklin should have taken the mark. McMahon can mop up to Cross. His low ball, looking for Johnson. Crawford with him. Ball over the line.
Franklin finds himself on Jade Rawling, so it's a potential matchup that could worry the Dogs with his athleticism. He's really got to just be told to go and present and get on his bike as often as he can.
Nick Holland back in the side today for the Hawks with the late withdrawal of Thurgood, who injured his back in the warm-up. 4 clearances, or of the 4 clearances so far in this quarter, 3 have gone to the Hawks and 1 to the Dogs. Harris rushed it through as he had Williams hanging off the back of him.
Just under a little bit of pressure, Brian, the Dogs, a little bit of pressure. Had to be defending for most of this quarter.
Well, the Hawks have had all of the ball in this quarter so far. JB.
Not done with yet, the Hawks. Gilby's kick in to Cross. Cross pressured, just has to pump it long. Farron Ray, well done.
Great mark.
Very nice focus on the ball. Tough opponent, Vandenberg. This young Western Australian, not huge of frame, but lots of courage and good skill. Crawford will fly from the back. Broke that play up in the air. Lewis got it from Mitchell. Rees, hands, terrific. Low down.
Look, Crode's on.
Now he's got Crode on. If he can get it to him, the kick in, just not good. Allowing the Dogs to really mop up back there, and West at centre-half back can do as he pleases.
Well, that would have got them back within real striking distance. All he had to do was find the target, and there was no real pressure. Now the Bulldogs are launching the counter-attack. Eagleton has got a Dog standing either side if he wants. Cooney still lurking dangerous outside. He goes wider than that to Gian Siracusa. Got the mark he should have taken. Thought about the handball to Cooney and thought, no, kick short to Ray. Umpire said it wasn't 15, so play on. Now Gian Siracusa, the smother by Mitchell was excellent. Hurt his hand in doing so. I reckon he's broken his arm. He's in pain as he goes to the ground, and he's cradling that left arm as Ray lines it up to the square. Robbins doing some body work, knocked down Hargrave, got it. Hargrave has got it. His second goal.
It makes it difficult now, that's for sure. It makes it very difficult. We've got Hay coming off the ground and straight up the race. Jason to keep an eye on that. Brennan comes onto the ground. They've only been inside 50 once, the Dogs, this quarter, and they got a goal after the Hawks dominated the early part of this final stanza.
Tough now for the Hawks. They needed to put a few on end. Hargrave stopped them in their tracks. Lewis over the top. Hodge, normally good by foot, can go all the way. Big long left foot bomb. Dixon's got a couple to beat. Rawlings back there didn't win the ball in the air, but brought it to ground, and Harris has paid the mark.
Lance Franklin can't allow Jade Rawlings to run and present and contest like that on his own, the goal square. That's his job, to get to those contests.
Griffin. Good punch away by Trent Crode, and it's over the line. Doug Hawkins, wing side of the ground. Dogs fans unhappy. Not sure what they're unhappy about. That young lady's just vented her spleen.
These two have been at it all afternoon, Brad Johnson and Shane Crawford.
Street and Everett.
Where have you seen Peter Street's game on Peter Everett?
In terms of possessions, Gary?
Well, you think about it. I'll go down to Jason. We'll get an answer in a minute. It's a difficult question. Jace?
Yeah, just with Crawford and Johnson, they've been at each other, as you said. It looks like Crawford lost his arm guard in that last little scuffle out on the boundary line.
Well, Gary, what do you think about it, given the fact that you are the very special comments man?
Jeez, they ask a simple question.
Well, my focus is on the commentary of the game.
All right, I reckon Peter Street, it's been a win for the Western Bulldogs. I don't think Spider Everett's had the influence on this game that he may have had.
Well, Gary, why wouldn't you say that?
Well, I just wanted to get your humble opinion, Bryson. I won't talk to you again.
First time ever that you've asked for my opinion, West.
Been a long day with you.
Shortish kick, straightening slightly. Now Cooney goes low. Murphy had that covered if it hadn't have clipped the Crode arm. Now the ball very much in dispute as Cross and Smith. Smith of the Dogs battle for it, and Vandenberg at the bottom. Ball up, centre half forward Bulldogs. Scoreboard, Bulldogs 15-9-99, lead the Hawks 10-8-68, and there's Will Minson. In the background, Morgan just sitting behind him is out with a left hamstring today after starting the game in great form in the first quarter. Street. Gary says he's absolutely dominated today.
No, that's not
West.
what I said. Not what I said at all.
Gilby out the back door. Ladson. And we'll have another ball up.
I think he's been prepared to run around with Peter Everett all day, and Spider hasn't been able to control this match as he has over the past few weeks. He and also Sam Mitchell. Daniel Cross, the big possession winner with Luke Hodge.
He's just had the 33 hit out Spider, Gary. Not enough for you to consider his ruck work of any great worth?
No, not really.
This is Johnson just walking the line, but then the kick smothered. Charles Smith.
Where's he going?
Going the wrong way. Handball over the top to Mitchell. Mitchell's handball is okay. He'll get it back here. The emerging star. And then he'll go to Sewell, who's got it on the wing. He's going backwards. Mitchell. Delivery forward to Franklin. Nice crumb from Clark. Williams should end up with this.
Yep.
And he does.
Gee, a long way around, wasn't it, Jim? But mind you, Peter Everett hasn't always been his fault. He had made terrific position and worked so hard on the other side of the ground. It would have been a beautiful play to get it over to him, but the Hawks went back and forward, and he ran the whole length to get down the other end, but they weren't able to see him. But anyway, it's ended up in the hands of this man. Has to kick this goal to remain some sort of chance, the Hawks.
En route for another bag of 5. He's an extraordinary unit. His team, bottom half of the ladder, and yet he just keeps kicking bags of goals. That's far from his best. And Mark taken by Brennan, who brings the ball back to Ladson. Called to play on, left foot snap, and it's across the face for a behind.
Gee, lucky Jade Rawlings. How do you let a bloke mark like that on the line? All opportunities are just slipping by as the time ticks over.
West will kick long up the line to Street, who Gary says has dominated Spider with 8.
I didn't say that, Brian.
Even though Spider leads the hit-outs 33-14 and Hawthorn lead the clearances 15-11.
Oh, you're an ignorant man.
Robbins, Johnson, Harris, did well, Brown, Cooney, loose ball, and Syracuse for goal number 3.
To change seats, I think, and get myself in between the two big bruising forwards up in the box. They're just not getting on at all.
Well, none of the stats point in Street's favour.
Stats.
Hit-outs to advantage, 12-5 in favour of Spider.
There he goes.
The stat sheet, Brian.
Spider forward. McMahon the look away. Morgan, Morris, sorry, head over the footy. Got it to Gilby. And Hargrave now has it. Just pumps it down the line. Hodge comes across, not clean with the footy. Rees with him. And you can see the frustration from Hodge. Ryan Smith gets into his face and talks a bit of trash. Let's go to Jason McCartney.
One of the factors with Spider not being as dominant today, he hasn't had any backup with Simon Taylor out the side with the flu.
I would suggest that Jason might be just agreeing with me, I would have thought.
The voice of reason from down there, Jason.
He's put Bryzer back in his box. He's just shrunk down into his seat.
West with the forward handball beautifully to Eagleton. A couple of bounces, and then the low ball. Too strong for Murphy. Brown closes him down. Handballs to himself. That was nice.
It's done all right, Campbell Brown.
Got it forward. Brennan clean bowl. Picks the footy up. Missed Croft. Eagleton just fell on it. Not sure if that was legal disposal. Not going to matter. Smith pumping handball inboard to Burse. He goes sideways to Brian's man West, who is wrapped up and surely gone. Lots of time given to the Western Bulldogs, but Burse in the end took too much of it, and they'll bring it away around the outer side, the Hawks.
Gladson, what have they got on the half-forward line? Not much, because they're all behind the ball. And here are the Dogs with lots of numbers. Hargrave had 3 options. He went the wide one to McMahon. Cooney presents to him and will complete the mark on the Doug Hawkins wing. Dogs have controlled the game all day. They led by 18 at quarter time, 25 at half time, 32 at three-quarter time as Burse goes looking for Johnson. Hodge with a bit of a backhanded flick to the boundary line was positive.
Look down to the Hawthorn forward line. They've got to win the game, obviously. They've got 3 Western Bulldog players. It didn't look like getting it through half forward.
36 points adrift with just under 10 minutes remaining, the Hawks. And there are the 2 men that have gone at it today in favour of Street, says Gary.
No.
With that palm down, Hodge, Rees. Thought you did say that, Gary. Mitchell.
You are scurrilous, Bryzer.
Joel Smith and half back.
You look down the ground, Rowan Smith's loose. They've got no great forward line structure here.
Crawford, Vandenberg, and they just love possessing the ball on the half back line. And today, they've turned it over a lot in that area. Gilby on the left, just very unselfish, presents Murphy with a gift.
Dear.
Murphy for the Bulldogs will line up for his 3rd goal of the game.
Well, there's the play, the turnover. You're seeing it on your tally. I mean, they refused to kick it long, and on that occasion, they had nothing to kick it long too. Yet they're behind as Peter Street comes to the bench for a well-earned rest.
Murphy from about 25 metres out. Ready to go. Difficult angle. Sprayed it across the face. Out of bounds on the full.
Brian's just tightened up in the back, Gary. Look at the big boy, just not functioning well at all.
Yeah, well, that tension does get there from time to time.
Hawks coaching box just trying to get some answers as to what they can do with their team. Jonathan Hay waits for the cavalry to arrive, and they do. Brennan.
Numbers back for the Dogs. Rodney Eder said, this is not getting away from us.
to Rees. 3-1.
Look
the
at
Western
those,
Bulldogs.
look at those numbers.
It's just extraordinary. So many people wearing blue jumpers in the Hawthorn defensive half. Cross, good hands.
Nice goal.
On the up to Robbins. Short to Griffin. Farron Ray lurking in the middle of the ground. Mitchell. In fact, it was Osborne picked his pocket. Across the face. John O'Hay got Brennan on. Goes inboard to Sewell by hand. Gilby, look at the work of this man. And then just a pumping long ball. Brad Johnson. Can he control it? Bring it back inboard to Murphy.
He did.
He did, but Murphy had run the other way. Not going to matter. Murphy picks it up. Oh, great tackle. That's very nice from the Hawthorn defence, and they'll bring it away.
Indeed they do. Through the middle corridor area, Lewis driving ball to half forward, but standing tall. Rawlings. Dogs have got it. The complete package in the back line at the moment. They're letting nothing through. A well-drilled machine under their new coach, Rodney Eade. Hargrave on centre wing. Low, Sizzler. Robbins presents. He's lightning off the mark, and Robbins will line up for his 4th goal of the day.
Been one of their best today, Matthew Robbins. He really does look comfortable down there. Presented well. Put good defensive pressure on too from a forward point of view, but you can't allow players to waltz through the middle of the ground and deliver with no pressure.
One of the best Bulldogs players on the ground, says Gary, with his 8th touch today. Lining up for goal number 4 from 52 metres out. He's a lovely kick.
Not a bad return, Bryza. Sometimes you got to look just beyond that sheet, and it gets a little bit monotonous.
Just had a...
You call them, we'll just read the game, but 4 goals, presenting beautifully, just doubling back, creating some space in front and behind. His defensive pressure's been superb. 4 goals a game would result in 88 a year. That's a pretty fair return for a small forward.
Just had a blast at a couple today, Gaz, and just may have just...
Not happy with the Robbins game.
Well, Robbins, he's had 8 possessions.
Hawks fans walk the aisles as Brian and Gary continue to trade blows.
Well, no, Robbins has been good, Gary,
Yeah,
but you said he was one of the best.
One of their best, I said. Stand by.
What, in their
Bryza?
top 15?
No, Brian.
Cost Yazoo and Ricky Hatton style. The minute is working it forward is Cooney. Just pumped it off the ground, and the ball's going to trickle out of play. The other side. Attendance just under the 30 grand.
Shane Crawford just 14 possessions, but 6 more than Robbins, so Bryza would have him well ahead.
Western Bulldogs fans be very pleased. Rodney Eade's taken over, done a very good job of making them a very competitive unit. Not going to win the flag. They are going to give a real yelp, if you want to use a canine term. Vandenberg. Across the ground he goes to Campbell Brown. Verse slides over. Campbell Brown has a couple of bounces. 3 of them, in fact. Again, huge numbers back for the Western Bulldogs, and Williams has got about 4 to beat, and he manages to do it.
That's quite incredible. That was probably more good fortune than execution there. You look up here, Campbell Brown, and he sees 3 or 4 Western Bulldog defenders, and then he had to kick in the end, and it just slots itself in between 3 or 4 of them. This man, one of Hawthorn's best, you'd have to say. Not a lot of footy, but with the opportunities presented to him, they end up with another 5.
Mark Williams from 35 out directly in front. You'd say he operates at about 95% of these. Look at that, right through the middle.
The 2005.
Well, Williams gets his 5th goal, his 47th for the year. Franklin Minson out of the middle cross. Banged it up towards the attacking red zone for the Dogs. Hodge through traffic with style. Vandenberg sees something he likes, wide in green by foot. Started the day on the pine today, did Stephen Green. To Clark. Handball in the middle, Reese. Vandenberg follows up from half back. Wants something to present, has to go shorter, and finds Campbell Brown.
might be beyond him.
Brownie goes short, looking for Williams. And he'll line up for goal number 6. Thank you very much.
Isn't that the frustrating thing, though, for Hawthorn supporters, is that every time he's had a chance, Mark Williams, he's looked capable of kicking a goal, or certainly getting the opportunity to kick a goal. And just for 2 quarters, the best part of 2 quarters, you'd say that he was denied that opportunity by a messy style of play. And all of a sudden now, with the game gone, started to find him again, and he honours them.
For goal number 48 of the year, he has taken 7 marks today, and he's lining up for goal number 6. Is Mark Williams. A very straight kick. This one is just magic.
That's a great effort. That is a super effort from a young man. He's not done hardly anything wrong all day. Every time it's gone to him, he's been a very good chance to get the footy, and 6 goals in a side that's been well and truly beaten is a fantastic performance. Swore one for his troubles. Wouldn't be too upset though.
Mark Williams with 6 goals, half his side's haul. Very nicely done. Franklin has a spell in the middle, and there is Mitchell sort of trying to get it out of there. West claimed. The Stacks on situation will have another bounce. About 4 boxes, 5 boxes down from where we broadcast, Gary. We've got Jason Dunstall sitting watching the game, and great Hawthorn full forward. Couldn't have a different build and style of play to Williams, and yet they're putting up similar numbers. It is extraordinary for a man of his stat. McMahon just goes with the double kick. Did it pretty well in the end to Burst, to Eagleton. Eagleton to Hargrave, who's kicked a couple. Couldn't control the bounce of the Sharon. Brennan looks out on his feet. Rees to Jacobs, and that's short to Smith.
Smith over the top. Osborne inboard looking for Clark. Vandenberg. Smith. When will they decide to kick it? Longish. Smith to Franklin. Got to go long now. Surely. Yes, here's Williams. On the lead, couldn't get there. Harris got a hand. Clark, the ground level player. And Harris happy to find the white line. 2.5 minutes remaining. Chance Bateman a withdrawal with his shoulder injury, sitting in the front row there.
It's a big 4 weeks coming up for the Hawks, the Saints, Port Adelaide, the Cats and the Crows. All, well, the Port aren't, but the others inside the top 8.
It's down nicely by Everett to Rees. Now picked up by Vandenberg. The snap from the skipper has missed to the near side of behind. Perhaps, Gary, that explains some of the disappointment from Al Clarkson. This is such a big game. Massive. When you look at that next month.
Very tough month ahead, and given the way that they've played their footy, you would have thought they're a good chance. Take nothing away from the Bulldogs. I reckon Rodney Eade has coached really well and given them every opportunity to win. I think these guys are pretty realistic too, Hawthorn. They know where they're at. They just want to keep improving as a side, and probably today they've gone back a bit, and that's a disappointing thing.
Bulldogs next month starts with Port Adelaide in Adelaide next weekend. Carlton, St Kilda and Fremantle to finish in Subi. So a couple of road trips for the Western Bulldogs in the next month. Adelaide and Subi. Short kick. Hargrave, ground level, stolen by Hodge. Had nowhere to go, so just waiting for help to arrive. Ladson, sharpish handball. Rees. Franklin is a left footer. Will take advantage of that and goal. No, it's hit the post. Shaved the post on the inside. And just under 2 minutes remaining in the game. There's the confronting task for Lindsay Gilbert to kick in. Have great courage, these guys that kick in from full-back. It's a tough gig, and you've really got to be sure of yourself. Gilby's kick wide. It's nicely presented to this man here, Will Minson.